Mr Upton again. Nice day today. Grand National Day. This is a live feed that I'm going to post up in a minute. Now, one of the things that I'm not happy about is BASC, the British Association of Shooting and Conflict. Right, I can't even say it. I'm that tired. Anyway, I've had a real big problem with Basc, right? They stitched me up big time. They allowed, on their Facebook site, they allowed a 5-day non-stop assault on my good name and my character. And they could have stepped in and actually stopped it. I try to keep this out of the limelight of public eye by just dealing with the right people at their main office. I have got a file this long on letters that have been passed back and comments what I copied and copied and copied, that they allowed insults and threats of violence, threats of death, burn my place down. Absolutely disgraceful. They allowed non-stop assault because they believe in freedom of speech. They were monitoring it because they let it run because they didn't want to be seen to be siding with anybody. Now, as a gesture, I contacted them. They said, what do you want me to do? I said, let it run. The damage has been done. Let me defend myself. So they started to let me defend myself, and then I was winning the battle. Because, not on my own, but for decent country folk who stood up and said, listen, he's not swinging a dog round by the ears and beating it. Go away, you silly fluffy brigade. And so the shooting community and the Gundog community and the sporting community, whether they were gamekeepers, into deer management, but country people who know what we have to do, they started to stand up for me. So the debate changed, and we started winning the debate, and Basc were made to look stupid because they let it run when they were told to take it down at first, but they let it run thinking, hey, he's a small guy, he's a nobody, right? Let's let him crucify himself. Let's nail him to the cross for this principle that he's standing up trying to defend himself. It's getting worse and worse because people are attacking him. And I had decent country folk supporting me, and Basc let it run, and they were actually censoring those people, and I can prove this. They were taking them off the site for standing up for me and letting the Bunny Brigade, who are mental, the Fluffy Brigade, right, assault us in such a way that they did not support our country way. And it's a principle. And I have represented BASC at Gundog seminars, at their scurries, and I've done so much for this group of people. And what happened, they didn't look at the evidence, they just let it run. And my argument was not worried about letting them run and letting an argument or a debate, and I believe in freedom of speech, but you should censor what's going on these Facebook groups. You should not allow a vigilante hunt, and that's what it was. And so I've been trying to deal with these people on the quiet. I was angry at first and I said everything on my Facebook site, but it was a closed site, right? And I said to BASC, the top people there, that I will expose you for what you are, and I am not going to leave this and let it go. So because they think I've gone quiet, I've been doing my own work. I've been collecting the evidence. Because years ago, I would have wanted to run around there, grab somebody by the throat and punch them for putting my life upside down and making my wife absolutely into a nervous wreck. But I said to my wife, no, there's other ways to skin a cat. We're going after these people, and we're going after them big time. And we're going to keep all the evidence of everything, all the letters that I've sent, and all the letters and the correspondence. And I've told Basc, when it all kicked off, this can be resolved dead easy. A letter of an apology to myself, saying that you should have not allowed for slanderous comments to continue. They should have been taken off, or people should have been warned that they would be taken off if slander continued. That I had a right to defend myself. I was not looking to sensationalise it and cause a big uproar. But I have explained, and I will explain in another couple of videos that I put up, of the evidence of that Basc come under two umbrellas, one the Fluffy Brigade and one the Gundog world, the shooting world. And what they didn't want to do is be seen to be siding with either. So they sat on the fence. They sat on the fence at the expense of ruining a man's career and a man's passion. a man's desire, his way of life, the country way of life. And I personally believe that Basque need to be, people out there in the world need to realise that these big corporations work the system. And they're not going to like this, and they're going to get their solicitors and they're going to rub their heads together and think, how are we going to get out of this mess now? Because we got out of the mess of him contacting us, because what we did, we just banned him. We banned his phone conversations. Every time I ring one of these Basque numbers, no matter where it is in the country, my number has been put, my telephone number has been put on red alert, so it can't go through. It won't go through to the officers. They banned me from their Facebook sites, and they banned me from making comments. The one thing Basque did do, they obviously got together with their people, and they said, listen, we've really messed up here. We need to not let this ever happen again. So they changed their policies completely. But they'll never admit liability. They'd rather pay out of court or go to court. And they are working on the assumption that I haven't got the money to go to court and spend 150, 200,000, 300,000 pounds on court fees. And they're dead right. I haven't. But I've got a bigger weapon. I've got a bigger sword. And it's called the World Wide Web. And the publicity that this will give them is damaging, because it's bigger than them writing an apology to me. An apology, we all make mistakes. And at the end of the day, all they had to do is say, Mr Upton, we are so sorry we allowed that to run non-stop. And what they don't realise is, if you're going to kick off and say something, you have to collect the evidence. And the evidence is just unbelievably, and I'm going to read some of this out, and I'm going to explain the people who in the southwest who closed the ranks on me. I'm going to play you videos that I went to the Royal Cornwall show, and I confronted them in a nice, sensible way to try and debate with them, and they closed the ranks. They had security there, they'd informed the police that I was coming, but you've got freedom of speech. And freedom of speech is a very, very dangerous and powerful tool. And as long as you don't lie, they can't do anything. They can put injunctions out against you. They can get their solicitors involved. But guess what? I am my own solicitor. I can represent myself. Because over the years I've found out that unless you've got money, you can't get a good solicitor. So who's the best guy to represent you? Get a legal team working around you. Seek advice. Don't try and take on the world without getting a legal team and spending some money. But represent yourself in court. Stand up and say it the way it is. Collect your evidence. No different than a policeman. Collect the evidence and put it before them if they want it before them. So I'm sending a challenge out here to these group of idiots. The pompous, self-centered, money-orientating company, BASC. That's right, I've said it. I've said it. I've set you a challenge. Let's all put our suits on and let's go to court. And I don't think you want to. I don't think you'll even go there. And do you know why you won't go there? It's because it's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of pounds to take on a little man who's got a lot of bottle. And so I say, bring it on, BASC. You're a bunch of con artists. And I'll explain to you why if we go to court. But I'm going to explain in a number of different videos what you did and how you tried to close the door after the horse has bolted, instead of saying, let's resolve it. You gave me an offer over the phone. I've got tape recorded messages of, what do you want, Mr Upton? And I said, £2,000. It's not the money, but I want a letter of apology. I started off with £1,000, just a letter of apology and I said a letter of apology and £1,000 for the hassle and the grief. That's all I want. It cleared my name. And you said, we will not give you a letter of apology. So I said to you, all right then, give me the £2,000, no letter of apology. Well, we'll have to discuss that. I can't just make that decision. I haven't got that in my back pocket. Right? That's what you said to me, mate. Right? And I'll name you in a minute. And I'll actually read it all out. And I'll show you the tape. I'll play the tape recordings and I'll let people see. Because people need to see what these big companies are like. They work you. They play you. They've got the fluffy brigade who go to all the tests and all the game fairs, and they make massive amount of money with their scurries and their training days. right? They make massive amount of income and they don't want to lose that. It's under an umbrella. This is why they try to squash. Then they've got the other side of the coin. They've got the real shooting people, the dedicated sportsmen. And they don't want to lose them because that's what the whole point of it was set up for in the first place. But they don't mind shitting on the small guy from a great height. Well, this small guy let you shit on me for so long. Has had a shower, wiped off the shit, and he's coming to get you. Just because I went quiet for a few months doesn't mean I'm not finished. I've got a year and a half before I have to actually say something, before I actually have to go to court. You've got a choice. You can say that's slander. We need to defend ourselves. You can't say these things in public. You've got the solicitors. I'll put my suit on and let's go to court. It ain't going to cost me. It's going to cost you. But I still give you an option. You can settle out of court if the right people pick up the phone. I don't want to speak to the idiots I spoke to before. They're just the monkeys. I want to speak to the organ grinder. I want to speak to the guys in the power, the guys who make decisions, right? Because I got so far up the ladder, and then you closed all communication because it was getting embarrassing for you. So you accused me of being a bully. I'll show you what a bully is. I'll show the people what a bully is. Big companies like you who pretend. Why should you be giving people advice when you are hypocrites? You're not supporting our way of life. I went on the marches to London at my expense to support the fox hunters. I don't fox hunt, but I was sticking up for a minority sport that were being persecuted by the Fluffy Brigade and PC people who try and give their opinions. We're supposed to live in a tolerant society, and you people dictate what we should do and what we shouldn't do, what's good for the sport, what's not good for the sport. It's what's good for you. I can name a number of things that people aren't happy with what Basc have done with the pistol shooting and all this stuff. You stand on the side of what makes you look good and what gives you more revenue. It's all about revenue with you big companies. I'm coming to get you. I told you, I warned you, right? I'm going to sensationalise it to such an extent that people are going to watch it in their millions and go, this guy stands up to anybody, right? You're going to have to get a hit team and take me out if you don't want this to go any further. Simple as that, right? Because at the end of the day, someone might find me with concrete boots on in the Thames one day because I said one thing too much. I take that chance. I take that chance for one reason. I stand up for what I believe in. I say what I believe in. And you people sit there in your ivory tower, smug, right? You've got expenses that look after you people, haven't you? I've done your training seminars for your young guns and your young lads, and you've sent me letters and I got them here proving that you thought I was a good dog trainer. As soon as one person puts up a comment that I beat dogs and kick dogs, you don't want to get involved. Of course you shouldn't get involved, but you shouldn't have let it run on for 5 days and an unbelievable assault on my good reputation. You've damaged me big time. My job is to prove how much you've damaged me, and I've told you. So, I won't accept your £2,000 in your letter of apology. I'll accept £20,000 and a letter of apology, right? A letter of apology and £20,000. If you want to go to court, this is my offer. £200,000 to save you some embarrassment, right? And you can keep your letter of apology. £200,000 and you can just disappear into my life and I won't ever talk about you again, right? But while you don't settle or come up with a compromise, I'm going to keep talking about you people. I'm going to keep exposing you for what you are. You're taking in trainers to train people who are not professionals, right? They have dogs trained by other people, right? Some of these people are ex-military people that you've got up country. I've checked into these people, I've spoke to these people, and they've said to me, listen, I come from a police background, I come from an army background. But hang on, army background and police background, they're used to discipline, they're used to beasting people, right? Don't come into my world and tell me that I'm cruel and let people insult me on a site that I asked you to take the feed down because it was damaging to my business and I would explain myself. You let it run. You actually came on the phone to me and said, Chris, what a mess. What do you want us to do? You only did that for one reason. And I said, let it run. because the damage has been done now. Let me defend myself. And you started to let me defend myself, and we were turning it around. The country people of this country were turning it around. And what did you do? You panicked and thought, oh God, we're going to lose the Fluffy Brigade. Because you sit on the fence, because you don't want to upset either side. For one reason, not principle, money. It's all about the money, big business. I'm coming to get you.